Hello everyone, welcome to Insurance Business TV as we delve into the media liability landscape. Needless to say, this is one I will be paying particularly close attention to. There are reports that nearly 45% of media companies have seen a rise in liability claims over the past year, with the global market valued at around $2.5 billion back in 2023. So where do the opportunities lie in this ever-growing area of interest? Well, today we welcome Chris Cooper, US Head of Media and Professions at QBE North America, to discuss all of that and more. Chris, welcome to Insurance Business TV.
Thanks, Paul. I'm happy to be here. Very excited.
So, Chris, just set the scene for us, if you don't mind. What are a few of the emerging trends that you're seeing in media liability insurance that are impacting insureds?
Yeah, so right off the bat, I would say that claims against the press are at an all-time high, right? We've seen an increase in defamation claims, invasion of privacy, and a lot of new creative arguments being aimed at trying to silence speech. That's kind of the big high-profile thing going on in the world right now. But there's been some high-profile settlements that have emboldened more plaintiffs that have kind of led to additional defamation claims being made. Beyond the traditional press, though, we've got some other trends that are shaping and taking form. There's a lot of short form video out there. It's influencer content that's driving a lot of claims. There are copyright claims that have become more frequent, and because AI has led to an easier method of discovery by copyright holders, there is an increase in the number of the claims that are being made, severity.
Well, I think I'll focus in on the influencers, if you don't mind, being young and cool as I am. Of course, we are seeing many brands using influencers to promote their products and services. So what types of risks should companies be aware of when they're working with them?
Right. So the partnership between the influencer and the brands that they're working with, when the influencer is creating content on behalf of the brand, they are, usually they could be in a public space where there's music playing in the background going on to promote an event, or, just they happen to be in a restaurant that they happen to be promoting, something like that. There's usually music playing in the background. Right. The restaurant itself has a license to be able to play that music inside the restaurant, but they have not paid for something called the synchronization license, which that recording by the influencer with the music playing in the background, that creates a different exposure. They're using the music in a new way that no one has paid a copyright license for, a synchronization license. It's a separate license that they need to obtain. So the music playing in the background can lead to a copyright infringement claim, not just against the influencer, but against the brand that they're promoting. And it usually comes in the form as a claim directly against the brand, because it's commercial speech that they're making on behalf of the brand. The other area that we've seen is sort of, when influencers are kind of sitting and talking on the fly about the product that they're promoting, they may go off script from the main talking points that the brand has given them about their own product, and maybe make some claims about some competitor products that may not be true, right? And it could be a live presentation, or it could be a pre-recorded, but it's not always going to have time to be reviewed by the brand before it goes out. And so that creates a trade libel defamation risk against both the influencer and the brand itself. And again, it usually comes as a claim against the brand. There's also things like logos in the background of when they're talking, or copyrighted photographs. If you had a Andy Warhol picture or a print hanging behind your head as you're talking, that could lead to a copyright infringement claim as well.
And of course, Chris, you recently introduced a new product designed to address the risks that companies face when using these influencers. So just tell us a little bit more, expand if you would. We've already had a couple of great examples there, but why would a company need this type of coverage?
Right. So this is a new emerging form of marketing, right? It has exploded, but it's not your traditional experience level of, commercial producers or, graphic designers or editors who have gone through, a significant amount of training or education, right? The the reason why we decided to come up with the new product, the influencer, was that we kept hearing from brands and we kept hearing, non-media insureds that, were a widget maker or a restaurant or, what have you, that they were using influencers to advertise on their behalf. And the risk managers felt like they didn't necessarily have any real control over the process or confidence in the experience level of the individuals that were being hired by the marketing departments or by the third party advertisers or like agents. So at the same time, I had experienced media defense attorneys coming to me and letting me know that they were getting cases assigned to them by non-media insurers for claims that had been brought against either a brand or an influencer for copyright infringement, for defamation, or traditional media risks, where inexperienced counsel had first been hired and had maybe bungled or not been given the permission they needed to from a different insurance company to be able to defend in the right way that would have stopped the claim or would have cost a lot less money. So they're coming in after mistakes have already been made. And so it's this kind of merging of like these two different streams of feedback that we are getting from insureds clients and brokers talking about it as well. And so, we realized that there wasn't really a product in the marketplace that addressed this very clearly, right? There is media liability insurance for media companies, and regular companies can buy media liability insurance, but a big multi-billion-dollar brand is not going to have a small retention for either their media liability, their cyber that may include media, or if it's on their GL, it's probably very limited and doesn't necessarily have the right firms to be able to defend the claims. So this is a modified media liability policy that provides, a comfort level for the brand that there is a buffer between either their own policy and these claims, or it is infilling their deductible, or it is, clear, unambiguous coverage for both themselves and for the content creator, the influencer themselves, right? So it's creating a peace of mind for the brand so that they know that there is the coverage. It's what they are looking for. That's going to be handled correctly by both experienced attorneys and an experienced claims team. And then it's also, we included a training component that's necessary in order for the influencer to be able to buy the coverage, right? They have to go through a short video and a test, and it gives them kind of the highlights of what they should be looking out for from a copyright infringement perspective, how to use photos, how to make sure that they, are only saying true statements about, factual events or other products or something like that, right? And it's also, talks about some of the disclosure issues that they may have to disclose in terms of this being a sponsored post or something like that, right? So the convergence of both the infill of a deductible, possibly ensuring that the right coverage is in place, and the training for the influencer themselves. I think it was a unique opportunity for us to kind of step in and offer something that was really needed in the marketplace.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be plenty of take up for it. But as hot a topic as influencers are, AI is perhaps even hotter. It is, of course, being increasingly used to generate content, and that is introducing a variety of risks with it. So from your perspective, Chris, how is AI impacting the media liability risk landscape?
Yeah, I almost hesitate to answer anything about AI at this point because by the time we go to air, it could be completely different. Things keep changing at such a rapid pace, with the ability of the models being able to create different types of content and what the regulatory space and legal landscape looks like. That being said, I really think you know this is sort of like a revolutionary moment. That's an obvious statement to make, right? But sort of like how iTunes changed the distribution power balance of content, right? I think you know AI has taken the steps that YouTube made in the democratization of the creation of content and put the tools that were exclusively available to companies with lots of money to invest in like technology for special effects in them. It's put the power of Hollywood into the individual users' hands to be able to create high quality content, and that's great. But it creates a plethora of additional risks for both traditional content creators and for those who are using the tools to create content on their own, right? So it speeds up the creation of content. That's great. We're going to have more content, but the it also speeds up the ability to discover unauthorized uses of content. There's also a huge risk of invasion of the right of publicity with the deepfakes, the name, image, likeness exposures, right? There could be the when using AI to like go through the newsroom or something like that, and writing an article, you need to make sure that there are factual responses coming through, right? You can't just trust that the AI is providing you with the actual facts you can rely upon to write a story, right?
And from your perspective as well, Chris, I mean, you mentioned this idea that AI could change rapidly even by the time our video goes out. So it's so much to sort of scratch your head about. What guidance would you offer to brokers who are looking to support their clients in navigating these evolving risks? It's not easy, is it?
No, not at all. I think brokers more now than ever need to be on their toes and making sure that they're having frequent touch points with their clients, right? Making sure that the brokers are talking to their clients about using either in-house or outside counsel to make sure that they're on top of all these rapid changes in the regulatory and legal landscape for artificial intelligence. From the influencer perspective, I mean, they need to be talking to the brokers about how the brokers need to be talking to the client about how the risk managers are interfacing with the marketing department and legal department to be able to understand what new risks might be emerging by different means of marketing that they're going through. And then they need to make sure that the coverage that they have in place, whether it's on a GL or cyber or media policy, that it actually would, follow through and cover these types of new emerging exposures, and need to be, aware of what the risks are associated with that.
Well, great thoughts, Chris, and many thanks for your time. I'm sure many of our viewers have been influenced by your guidance. And if you want more insights from experts like Chris, well, keep it right here on Insurance Business TV.